1989 marked the beginnings of FCD as a youth environmental action group. It was born in San Jose Socots with members from Benque, Socots, and San Ignacio. 10 years later, it changed its name to Friends for Conservation and Development. 20 years have passed with much challenges and growth. Our area of conservation influence today is 8% of Belize's land mass, in an area known as the Chicabol Maya Mountains. Our love for the mountains and the land remains after 30 years. It indeed has been a great adventure.
I think there are two kinds of experiences that I remember. One of them is obviously walking in the forest, hiking and camping. It's definitely, I think, a very important activity. Learning about the environment, learning about the life, learning about Belize. So that's definitely one big thing. I think the camping, the hiking, Bancafal, Chicabol, Caracol, all of the places in Caribbean as well. That set of activities. I think the next thing that I remember about the interaction group are these conversations and discussions with people talking about all kinds of things. Our dreams for Socots and for Belize, what is wrong with Belize, what it is that we want to change, and how can we change it, and those discussions are very important topics. So those would be two things that I think that I particularly remember about youth environmental action. Here in Socots as a youth group, we were doing cleanup campaigns to try to keep the village clean, to try to make a difference in terms of maintaining the riversides. Cleaning, there used to be dump sites there. We had lots of cleanup campaigns and education. And year after year to go back the same thing over and over. But if you walk along the riverside, there's still some garbage there, but no longer are there dump sites along the riverside. There are no longer dump sites along the creekside. So that's a big change. It might seem very small, but I think to change people's mentalities about that is important. And it is possible also to make a difference. And perhaps the biggest impact that FCD has had is in changing the people who are engaged in it. From maybe using slingshot to killing birds, to not using them, or not longer being able to take your plastic bag and dumping it. So the message would be, it is possible. It is possible to bring about. To me, I think about the Youth Environmental Action Group and how that was a training ground for people like Rafael, like myself, like Derek, and many other young people. We became politically conscious, we became engaged with our communities. We developed a sense of pride in who we are and beliefs and wanting to make a difference. That to me is like the biggest thing I think that Youth Environmental Action Group has given. Yes, you manage the Chicabol Rainforest, but if you think about who it is that is behind that, who is managing the Chicabol Forest, is trying to make a difference. Rafael and Nerman, Derek, and a lot of other people there. So to me, that's the biggest thing that FCD has provided. So my dream would be for FCD to create that space for young people, for new leaders. People are going to replace Rafael, Derek, myself, for a new generation of young people who are going to grow up and make a difference in the place. I think that would be my dream.
Principally, I recall being engaged in the outdoor cleaning campaigns in Socots and in Benque, principally around the riverside. I also recall that it was during those times that we were exposed to this notion of the planet as our home, as the big ecosystem, that we are part, that although we were living in this corner of the globe, we were part of this community, this giant ecosystem. And it came with the celebrations of Earth Day, where the group was involved. I also recall the being part in some of the public awareness campaigns, the poster competitions, the presentations of many people who are advocates of the environment and its protection. And although we're talking about 30 years ago, it's interesting to note that the issues that were there, that were at the forefront, the spotlight on the environment are the same issues that we are facing today, And the youth movement started out, which was a precursor of FCD, created an awareness at a very young age of why it's important to live in communion with the environment, making it a way of life. So in that respect, I can see how the FCD and its youth movement created a change and helped me in my early formation as an individual.
Well, the experience that I recall joined the Youth Environmental Action Group is that when we used to go hiking and camping in the wild, looking at the forest, wild animals, and especially doing our fire camps, and sleeping in the wild. That's a fantastic thing that I experienced there. Loving the night in the wild, and I really enjoyed it at that time.
I would like to talk about the first time I get to meet the past members of Youth Environmental Action Group. That was way back in 1989. I was hiking near Santa Familia when I met Rafael and other members of the youth, back then Youth Environmental Action Group. I was just a hiker by myself, hiking, trying to find these sinkholes near Santa Familia. And I met these guys also with their backpacks, and I wonder what they were doing, and they were wondering what the heck I am doing there too in the jungle. And that's how we met. We were searching for the same sinkholes, which, as you know, Belize has many caves, and so we were both interested in the same thing. Eventually, we went on this expedition to find this sinkhole, and I ending up got lost in the jungle. I never did reach the place. Rafael went, also Glitz Penados and other people went, but I didn't go because I got lost. So that's one of the experiences I remember. From there, we began a relationship, camping out and also beginning to learn about nature. After 20 years now, we are going to be celebrating our anniversary in terms of becoming a particular area's manager. We are well respected now. I would like to see that we continue lobbying with the government, continue working with the communities that surround the particular areas. But my message, I think, is that we really need to continue working hard, because the environmental pressure and development is getting even larger. The challenges are getting even harder. So 20 years ago, Belize didn't have the same population today. Now we have bigger landowners, we have more development. We need to continue pushing and informing the Belizean public what is our mission, what do we believe in. And so the next generation of conservationists, we consider ourselves like the third generation conservationists, but we need to start teaching values to that next generation who will take over from us. That they do not forget what is our mission, what do we stand for, because the pressure is getting harder. The planet is now under threat. And here in Belize, we can do a small part to protect what we saw. In the past, we thought we could save the earth, we could save the world, but we realize it's too big. We can save our little part right here in Belize.
FCD continues to keep alive the youth spirit and youth environmental work through its youth groups, FCD Environmental Youth Group, the youth arm of FCD, and Todos por un Mundo Verde Youth Group. Both groups continue to do the work FCD used to do when they were the Youth Environmental Action Group. But now to present, we do lots more when it comes to youth environmental conservation. We now have more structured youth groups. We have binational exchange between Belize and Guatemala. We have continual reforestation projects. We also have cleanup campaigns, workshops. We have a variety of activities youth-related. All this is possible thanks to our funders, the British High Commission and Canada Fund for Local Initiatives, and also to FCD and its board of directors, who have decided to re-establish the youth group in April 15, 2011 as FCD Environmental Youth Group and continue the legacy of the youth movement.
On behalf of the Association of Public Affairs Management Organizations, APAMO, we want to congratulate Friends for Conservation and Development for the great work they've been doing over the last 20 years. Congratulations, Rafael and your team. Conservation can be very challenging, but with the commitment that you and your team have, I'm quite sure you'll continue to be successful in work that you do. Congratulations.
Hi, this is Lydia. I'd like to congratulate FCD on their 20th anniversary. Thank you for protecting our beautiful Chiquibul forest. Sending my regards all the way from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Congratulations to Rafael and his team at FCD for all the incredible work they've been doing over the last 20 years in preserving the Chiquibul forest. My hat's off to you, Rafael, and the entire team, and all the trustees involved. And I hope that the Belizean people continue to treasure their natural capital. It's such a special country, and it's probably the jewel in the crown of the whole of Central America. And long may that continue.
Hello, Friends for Conservation and Development. This is Godfrey Smith, and I bring you greetings from St. Lucia. Whenever I am asked about Belizean patriots and heroes, I never think of political personalities. I think of people like Rafael Manzanero and Derek Chan, who demonstrate to me what it means to dedicate your life to defending and preserving Belize's natural resources. Rafael, as I've said to you countless times before, I am filled with admiration for what you and your committed team at FCD accomplish in very difficult conditions year after year. You are assured of my continuing respect and support. Sincere congratulations to FCD on 20 years of sterling, unparalleled contribution to conservation in Belize.
Un cordial saludo de la Asociación Balam. El día de que hoy queremos felicitar a FCD por sus 20 años. 20 años donde FCD ha demostrado ser una organización que está promoviendo la colaboración binacional entre Guatemala y Belice. Como Asociación Balam, ratificamos nuestro compromiso de seguir en este esfuerzo de colaboración y hermandad con FCD por los dos países.
The work for FCD and its many successes has been possible due to the support of multiple individuals, families, friends, and donors. FCD is grateful to all for the ongoing support. The challenges still exist now that the richness of the mountains and land is better known. It is under these conditions that FCD enters a new age. FCD plays a critical role in conserving wild places and wild animals. We invite you to continue being a part of the adventure.